Hi guys. So I just wanted to check in with everyone to see how you're doing during this crazy time in our world. I decided to come out for a walk because I'd been in the house for days and hadn't gotten dressed into any proper clothing and just was losing my mind a little bit. Just to let you know, this I made at home. I did not go into a store to get some coffee. I had this cup and made it at home. So yeah, so I'm walking through the back laneways to avoid people, but I really felt it was important to get out. What was I gonna say to you guys? Okay, so I haven't really talked about this on my channel before, and I don't talk much about it publicly, not because I'm embarrassed, but I think because I was kind of hiding it from my kids. So I have depression, and I've had depression since forever. I was formally diagnosed at 16, but it was a lead up before then. So it probably came on, when I was 13 or 14. And so it's something I've had to deal with. And I think I haven't really talked about it on my channel much because I was hiding it from my kids mainly. I didn't want them to have to feel like they needed to tiptoe around me or treat me as though I'm fragile. I just didn't want to put that pressure on them. And then recently I realized that I don't necessarily think it's a great idea to talk to your kids about depression, but at some point I think it is a good idea because my daughter has depression, and we didn't know until it got really bad. And I feel like maybe she didn't really know how to identify it, and even if she did, maybe didn't feel comfortable to come and talk to us about it. I'm not really sure. But I think that when she finally came to us and said that she needed help, and then I told her I understood, and I had depression and everything like that, it kind of almost made her feel relieved. And she said, I feel closer to you because I feel like you understand me. And so now we talk about it. But yeah, that's why I haven't talked about it. And I also think that there's still a stigma. I don't care what anybody says. There's still a stigma attached to having depression. And we're all trying to change that and everything, but it's not there yet. We're still not there. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today because being in this pandemic situation is really hard on everyone. And I think it's especially hard on people who have depression. So if you have depression, you really need to be aware of your feelings during this time because it's hard. I know my daughter came to me the other day and said that she's kind of gone back to ground zero in her progression. She feels like she's just really down again because she's unable to see her friends and just be social. It's really difficult. And she's the type of kid that likes to go to school, and so not being able to go to school was hard for her. So, I had to talk to her and say, okay, you have to realize you're not back at ground zero. It's just the situation. So you kind of almost have to be mindful of where you are at this point and understand that it is going to be hard and it could trigger things in your depression. So you have to think of ways of combating that. So for example, getting out for a walk, getting dressed, having a shower, reading a book, doing a task that you had wanted to tackle for a while but just didn't feel that you had the time to do. I'm gonna just turn around here. Actually, maybe I won't because the sun will be then in your face instead of in mine. But this laneway that I walk down is a really quiet one compared to other ones. Anyway, so I guess another thing I wanted to mention is that maybe try and check in with your friends if you know that they have depression, because it is going to be a really hard time for everyone. And the number one thing that people do to me, okay, I think I am going to turn around. I'll try and walk in the shade for you guys. Anyway, when I first sort of let people know that I had depression, I was hiding it really well. And I had posted this picture of me and my daughter. We were at a concert, and I just put, "This is the face of depression," because I remember thinking this was the day that I was at my worst. Like my absolute, I want to just step in front of a car feeling. And but I didn't look depressed, and I didn't act depressed. I hid it very well, and I think a lot of people with depression can handle it, can hide it very well. So when I did finally sort of announce that I do have depression, my friends said, "Oh, you should have come to me. If you ever need me, I'm here." And that's really lovely. That's a really lovely sentiment. But when people are in depression, and it's really hard to ask for help. It's really hard to reach out, because it's really hard to even walk sometimes. Like it's hard to explain, but someone can't ask for help. So one of my friends, and I was explaining this to my friend, we went out for dinner, and I said, she said, you can call me anytime. And I said, it's too hard. It's too hard to even verbalize what you're feeling. And so she said, okay. She said, if you ever need me, text me and say you want poutine. And then I'll know that you need me, and we can go out. And it's different when you're sitting face to face and the conversation kind of naturally flows, versus being like picking up a phone and going, "I'm really suffering, I'm hurting." That's really hard. So even just having that, I can text her and say poutine ? I know that she will make time to get together with me and see me. So even if you give your friend a code word that they could use when they need to talk to somebody, would be helpful. Anyway, all I'm saying is that you should maybe just check in with your friends, see how they're doing, arrange a FaceTime coffee in the afternoon or a glass of wine in the later evening. It really can help, just connecting. Being in isolation is really, really hard. I'm finding at my house, I work from home, and my husband goes off to work, and my kids go off to school, and now everyone's at home, and I kind of feel like they're invading my territory because it's my space. And I shouldn't feel like that because it's their house too, but it feels that way. It's hard to be around people all the time. So anyway, I just wanted to check in. How are you guys doing out there? What are you doing to keep busy? Any ideas? As I said, this is the first time I come out for a walk. I think I need to do this more often. Now that the weather is turning nicer, hopefully it'll be easier to do that. I've been organizing things at home, which has been feeling good, but it's just getting up and actually moving and being productive helps, I think. So yeah. If you have any tips, let us know. If you have depression yourself and you have advice for friends to kind of support you, let us know in the comments section, because that helps. I think the more we talk about it, the easier it is. And yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say, everyone, stay sane and stay healthy. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.